Hello my dear friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joycey Joy and today in this lecture we will assess the National Mission for Green India. First of all, let us understand what is Green India Mission or National Mission for Green India. The Green India Mission is one of the 8 missions under the National Action Plan on Climate Change. So we will see what is National Action Plan on Climate Change. But before that, let me briefly explain to you what is Green India Mission. It was laid out in the year 2011 and it is a $7 billion environmental intervention program. And under the Green India Mission, the primary focus is given on forest cover. So according to Green India Mission, it aims at protecting, restoring and enhancing India's diminishing forest cover. So primary focus is given on forest cover. It also aims at responding to climate change by combination of adaptation and mitigation measures. So to combat climate change, it takes into consideration adaptation and mitigation measures as well. So as we have discussed, primary focus is given on forest cover. Now coming back to the forest cover targets under the Green India Mission, it tries to put a third of country under forest cover. That means 1/3 of the country should be covered by forest and the tree cover in the country should extend to 5 million hectares. So this is the target under the Green India Mission. And besides increasing the forest cover, it also aims at improving the quality of the forest or the tree on an additional 5 million hectares of forest or non-forest land. So first target is to put around 1/3 of the country under forest cover. Second one, to create a tree cover of 5 million hectares. Third target is to create an additional 5 million hectares of quality forest or tree cover on either forest land or on non-forest land. That means the third target aims to enhance the quality of the existing tree cover. And another aim of this mission is to improve the forest-based livelihoods. So this will help in improving the income of those who are dependent on forest produce. For example, honey collection, bamboo collection, etc. Now coming to NAPCC, that is National Action Plan on Climate Change. As we have discussed, Green India Mission is one among the 8 missions under the National Action Plan on Climate Change. So now coming to National Action Plan on Climate Change, there are 8 missions under the National Action Plan on Climate Change. Let us briefly discuss 8 of the missions under the National Action Plan on Climate Change. The first one is the National Solar Mission. So under the National Solar Mission, it tries to encourage the advancement and utilization of solar energy for power generation and other uses. Now the second mission under the NAPCC is the National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency. So the target is the conservation of energy. So under the mission, energy incentives are provided and also various public-private partnerships are made use of in order to decrease the energy utilization through demand-side management. So PPP programs are adopted. The third mission is the National Mission on Sustainable Habitat. So under the mission, the target is to encourage energy efficiency as a nucleus of urban development. So it aims to extend the energy conservation building code. So various priority areas under this mission is the urban waste management, incentives for the use of public transportation, etc. Now the fourth mission is the National Water Mission and it targets 20% enhancement in water utilization efficiency. The fifth mission is the National Mission for Sustaining the Himalayan Ecosystem. So this mission endeavors to preserve the forest cover, biodiversity and other environmental assets in the Himalayan region. So the Himalayan region is given a focus under this mission. Now the sixth mission is National Mission for Green India, which we have discussed. The target is to increase the forest cover and also the area under forest and tree cover. The seventh mission is the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. So the target is to support the climate adaptation in farming, and this is done through the advancement of climate resilient crops, extension of climate insurance mechanisms, farming techniques, etc. Now the eighth and the last mission under the National Action Plan for Climate Change is National Mission on Strategic Knowledge for Climate Change. So there are mainly 2 targets under the Strategic Knowledge for Climate Change. The first one is to persuade the private sector or enhance the private sector participation in order to build adaptation and mitigation technologies via venture capital funds, VCFs. The second target is to achieve an enhanced perception of climate science, impacts, threats, etc. So these are briefly the 8 missions under National Action Plan for Climate Change. Now coming back to our topic, we were discussing about the National Mission for Green India. So let us understand what is the status of afforestation in India. Now if we closely observe the afforestation approach in India, we will see that over the last 2 centuries, afforestation is viewed as a solution to a variety of environmental issues in India. So example, soil erosion, decreasing biodiversity, decreasing precipitation, global warming. So these are all some important environmental issues. So afforestation was considered to be a solution or one-stop solution to all these issues. And during the colonial period, the forest cover in Europe was estimated to be around 1/3, that is around 33%. And an afforestation rate of 30 to 33% became widely accepted minimum for civilization. So in Europe, it is 30 to 33%, and India adopted this strategy of creating at least 30 to 33%, that is around 1/3 of the forest cover. And this idea of 1/3 forest cover was exported to India from Europe. And policy makers were accepting or adopting the strategy that was used in Europe in order to create more forest cover in the country. So what happened was that as a result of adopting the European model, the afforestation strategy in India flowed or had certain shortcomings because the nature of land or the topography of India was different from that of Europe. We have arid land, semi-arid ecosystems. So in all these areas, the European strategy did not fit well. And secondly, the local community participation was also very less. So lack of participation from the local community made the afforestation policy of the government or of India less efficient. So there were certain flaws in the afforestation approach in India. Now what is the way ahead? More than afforestation, the term greening should be given more focus. So the term greening refers to a socio-ecological approach that will treat the entire ecosystem. So greening should be given more focus than afforestation. It is a socio-ecological approach. Moreover, a holistic approach must be adopted. That means a restoration ecology approach must be adopted. It should include the grasslands, the streams, mixed scrub, agroforestry, etc. So the focus should not be only on forest cover or tree cover. There should be the adaptation of a holistic approach which will include all types of ecology. And the afforestation effort should also take into consideration the interest of the local systems. So the afforestation efforts of the government should not compromise the diversity of the Indian local systems. And moreover, from the colonial mindset, the afforestation efforts should move out to a scientific view or what we call as greening, which is a holistic approach. So we have learned that the afforestation approach in India was mainly exported from European culture. So we should adopt a scientific view which matches the ecology of India or the topography of India and which takes into consideration the interest of the local systems as well. So we should move into more scientific approach in afforestation. You can find the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page, and for any queries regarding your UPSC preparations, you can get in touch with me on my Facebook page or you can email me at joyce.studyiq@gmail.com. Thank you.